My sister has a nice house in the port, and there's all kinds of strange things happening there. They have a lot of shadow figures walking across.
What's interesting about a lot of the older houses is even as far back into the 30s, a lot of
yeah.
So, a lot of the older houses, a lot of haunting and stuff take place. People who have a person tied up for part of their life, be it a house or a rocking chair or something like that. Yeah, and you can get attachments that hauntings that are attachments to antiques. Generally, the older the house, it's not a guarantee, but it will. But it really is.
One thing you want to do too is when you get a chance, sit around, play with the camera. Shake some dust in front of it, take a picture. That way you know what dust looks like. If it's raining out, take some pictures out in the rain, in the snow. That way you know what it looks like. Blow
You see
smoke.
those little swarms of bugs all the time. Take a picture with the flash on them. Be surprised how many people have pictures.
Yeah. You'll get like one of them bugs. That's a fairy. That's a fairy. No.
It's a bright white ball with little wings coming off.
Yeah.
That's an ad.
Oh, fair enough.
So yeah, I mean that's the best way to do it. The more you know about it, the easier it is to spot the stuff.
There's a website, Chatterland.com, and you've got a lot of really good, interesting
Yep. Okay.
We have a lot of that stuff linked up on our site too. So.
That's very interesting.
I mean, this whole thing started, what, maybe 20 years ago, now 20, 30 years ago? That's what really kicked off.
Yeah.
But the last 3 or 4 years, it's really gotten the big development.
It's been around since
Digital era picture.
but once the digital era, because a lot of people have access to stuff. A lot of times libraries carry books on this, but you check it out and you can bring it back. So it's real hard to research some of this stuff in the library. And that has to compare way any of this stuff. But it's a young field. No such thing as an expert field, and no such thing as a degree field.
So if they tell you they're an expert, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
We have people that do it, and they will actually argue about, I'm an expert in paranormal, and all this stuff. It's like, dude, you don't know more than I do.
Something nobody knows about.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's right.
There's people out there that have been doing it for 5 years.
That's a lot of fun time. We got so much different equipment that you can use. I mean, you got all the little toys you can play with, gadgets and speeders and stuff. We have
Pretty
fun.
much most of it is also pick up in the market.
Yep. Or eBay's a great spot over there.
Now they got
Buy
the
anything.
50-foot night vision goggles for kids.
Yeah.
Yes, they just came out with those.
I've seen that.
I want to get some of
But
those.
see, 3 years ago, those were $10,000 a pair.
Yeah.
Government can only own them.
So, I mean, what is expensive military hardware now, 3 years down the road, is available to us. I mean, there's phenomena now that you pick up on digital cameras that you can get on digital cameras. Different kinds of movement, what we call light runs. No one can explain it. Everything you picture is perfectly still, but you get a moving light across it. And
Well, we do a lot of
people
tripod.
say, oh, well, the camera. No, it didn't.
Actually, speaking of that, we got pictures over there in the book that shows that.
The subject in the picture did not work.
You find the one, not the camera moving.
And that is something that was rarely ever picked up on 35 millimeter, but now that digital is around, it's becoming more and more common to pick that kind of stuff up. And again, you had to spend a lot of money on equipment for like infrared and all that stuff.
As you can see, all this stuff here is all in focus.
Digital.
We actually had Kodak look at these pictures. They're the ones that made the camera. They
Once
said
you
that
get
the only way you get a blur
$100
like that is if you move the camera.
digital
while you're
now
taking a picture.
was
But if
the
that happens, everything in this foreground is
Yeah.
going to be blurred
Yeah,
more than
right,
what's in
yeah.
the background.
So technology is getting cheaper.
They said they can't. They said it's not a problem with the camera, is all they would say. You know, we got stuff moving here. You know, and like I said, everything's in perfect focus. You know, you don't. This wire here would be all blurred, but it's not.
But you get, well, like this. The camera move, this is what you get. But everything is in focus here. I've got a few of these here. This, right here. This is what you're getting a lot of on the digital cameras that you didn't get on a 35mm. And digital cameras work on a different spectrum.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
And there are experts out there that can look at a digital camera and tell you if it's been photoshopped or not.
See the birds? There's no birds there. We took the picture.
Wow,
Showed up after.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's Munchkin Land up there.
Man, yeah.
Wasn't there when we took the photo, and now they're there.
That's very cool.
Barn ferry.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very
That's not the moon. That's an orb.
You said the one facing the tower?
Yeah.
No, that was a long time ago. Primrose.
Yeah, anybody tells you there's anything in Primrose, they don't know what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
there's nothing there.
Yeah, we've
That's
been
an
to
Oh, where's the one at the house? That was-
we've been to Primrose many
What,
times.
what is that?
No clue.
Man,
Picture
that-
before it and after, it's just fine.
That
one
that's an interesting
did that.
one.
What house was that at?
That was the owner of the Southwind Chocolate Factory, the founder. That was his mansion.
Oh,
It was a private
we know
investigation.
That
him.
is
Yeah, we know him.
We
Yeah.
know him.
Wow, that is really a cool shot. It looks like it extends all the way to
All the
the
way up.
to this edge.
Right there, and then
here.
it just stopped.
Looks like you took a
It's
picture
kind
in
of
a funhouse.
discolored there.
That's what
yeah.
I said, but it's not. I mean,
Wow.
no way to explain that, you know.
Boy, it's a bizarre shot. Yeah.
And that's what I said. I mean, and again, you got to remember all these photos that we got in here. I've taken thousands just to get
Yeah.
these. The Italian Bride in Chicago. There's some of the famous ones. As it was at Bachelor's Grove. I've been there a few times.
And most of those have been proven fake.
Yeah. A lot of them have been.
Yeah.
A lot of times whenever I do any kind of filming, I'll leave it sit on a tripod. That way, because you know for a fact it's not
It's
moving.
not moving. Nothing's hitting it. We've had lights come on at some of the buildings. At Southwind Chocolate Factory, we had that happen. We were watching. We had the video camera set up in the living room, and the lamp came on by itself. And somebody mentioned it. You know, we're in the other room, like there was those lights turned on when we got here. And they're like, no, they wasn't. So.
You had the lights turned on at
Well,
Central State.
They,
were on when we first
did
got
you guys
there.
do a farmhouse that didn't have any electricity in it and the lights came on when you guys were out?
We
the
know
barn?
we saw lights up. We're in the barn in the farmhouse itself. We saw lights moving across.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Where's the
That's
the couple?
Chicago.
That's Chicago.
That's the Grim Reaper from Chicago.
Yeah.
This was an old insane asylum down in Valpo.
See, I'm
Step
all
Family
about
Cemetery.
this,
Blue Lady Room down in Story, Indiana. Gonna spend the night there.
Where
That was
did
fun.
you get that picture of me from?
That was Purgatory. We were walking around. Oh, you should see some of the great shots I get.
Yeah,
That
most
wooden
aren't
door
me.
at the bottom. Page that. If you look at the bottom down there, you can see somebody laid clawed trying to get out of there. That was the cell, holding cells in the insane asylum. 3-foot dirt floors. And they laid there. I mean, you see claw marks on the bottom there. It's laid there clawing trying to get out. Autopsy table.
So are insane asylums like really haunted, or are they just?
Yeah.
They are?
Waverly Hills.
Most are because of
This one
the
was a
type
death
of.
tunnel.
What happened to them guys?
400-foot death tunnel. Goes down inside the mountain.
Yeah, a lot of energies have to do with, or a lot of hauntings have to do with energies.
Right.
And when you get in some place that has a lot of intense energy, negative or positive, you tend to get some kind of haunting afterwards. Insane asylums and schools are really good places for that stuff.
You should try my house.
Sit there and watch
Yeah,
that for
kind of the same
6
thing
hours.
actually. When you think about it.
You know that from Plain Hunter?
Just different levels of madness, that's all.
Yeah, different levels of madness. Yeah.
What about your insane asylum?
Yeah, we have light bulbs all the time. There'll be no light bulb where the light is. No light bulb. And it will still just, like, you'll hear a popping sound like a light bulb's busting. And we'll get sparks all the time
Really?
from it. Yeah, and it's not faulty wiring. Because my dad, he keeps going back in there after every time it happens.
We've heard that before and we go in and find faulty wiring.
It's not, my dad, he keeps going in there.
Is
and
he an electrician?
keeps rewiring the whole entire thing.
Is it
Every
you?
time it is
That's the
still
problem right there. That's the problem.
There's the first step.
Look, your dad rewired stuff.
Hey, My dad rewires your house too. So.
This is Kurt's relation, so we pick
Yeah.
on her a lot.
Oh, I disowned her, sorry.
He can just call her cousin. It's his niece.
You can just
She's
call
related
her all
somewhere.
you want.
Heck, for the
So-
first 6 years of his kid's life, all he called her was Kate because he didn't know her name.
Has anybody investigated the Bell Dennis house or that site?
Yes, I actually got to go in there. It's the old site. The house burned down. They built a new one on the basement. I actually got to go in there and do an investigation inside the house there. That was like my second or third investigation. That was with IGT. We're part of another group. And they filmed actually Mystic, Indiana. If you ever get that video, they do reenactments and stuff inside the house there. And I was part of that crew that went in there doing that. I didn't really get too much stuff. I mean, they got some EVPs and stuff, but I mean, I think they were stretching with the EVPs they got. They wasn't really clear.
Yes, but have you ever been touched?